court's other punishments, such as banning the president and his two oldest sons from serving in corporate leadership for a few years, will remain in place.
Birthday love during the free burger bonanza.
After 12 straight wins by the Brewers, fans were able to get a free burger Wednesday from George Webb. Over 4,000 people showed up for the giveaway at the Brookfield location, including Jean Harris, who was celebrating her 90th birthday.
I like to watch Brandon Woodruff. He used to be a neighbor of mine. He lived across from me when I lived in the condo. George
Webb's burger giveaway promotion goes back several decades, happening only two other times in 1987 and 2018. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Another day in the red here with the Dow off about 200 points at 44,728. NASDAQ down about 115 at 21,056. S&P 500 off about 30 at 6364. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
It's the final game of the series down at Wrigley Field. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
News sponsored by Ellie Mental Health. Visit elliementalhealth.com.
The Mental Health Minute.
I'm Kelly, licensed clinical social worker and director of Ellie Mental Health Waukesha. As a parent myself, I can feel the back-to-school season fast approaching. If you find your kid excited one minute and melting down over the wrong-colored folder the next, welcome. You are in good company. This time of year brings a lot. New teachers, new routines, new social stuff, and for many kids, that also means new worries. Stomach aches, sleep trouble, big emotions over small things. It's all so normal, but that doesn't mean they have to go through it alone, and neither do you. At Ellie Mental Health, we use cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, to help kids understand their thoughts, manage their feelings, and build real-life coping skills. We turn "what if I mess up" into "I've got this." Whether your child is struggling or could just use a little extra support, we are here to help them feel more confident and in control. Give us a call today.
This has been the Mental Health Minute. Get started on your mental health journey today at elliementalhealth.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek here for Flanner's Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanner's has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanner's, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanner's in West Dallas, Grafton, or at Flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Find it at the showroom. Take it home to make sure it's right. Vince Vitrano for Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Not some chain or corporate showroom. Hunt's is a family-run business specializing in beautiful, durable flooring from luxury vinyl to cozy carpet and timeless hardwoods. Find a great deal. Take the samples home and take your time. No high-pressure sales. The Hunt's team is patient, helpful, and ready to go when you're ready with your project. Visit Hunt's Flooring on Highway 100 or get started now at huntsflooring.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call that's all sports desk. Brewers and Cubs once again meeting for the final time this afternoon. It's a 5-game series, and this is Game 5 at Wrigley. Brewers won the opening game, but have lost the last 3.
It's supposed to be easy, right? When you're trying to do something hard, the journey's going to be difficult. There's a reason why you pop champagne and stuff after you win divisions or you win postseason series. It's because it's hard, and it's supposed to be hard.
That's Brewers outfielder Christian Yelich. Coverage of today's game begins at 12:45. And the Packers on the practice field alongside the Seattle Seahawks today. The teams will wrap up the preseason Saturday afternoon. A 3 p.m. kick from Lambeau. It's expected that backup Malik Willis will start at quarterback.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. A handful of disabled vehicles out in the system, most not causing any problems. And what I do want to let you know about is on 4145. And I'm telling you about this one because it is right before you get to the slowdowns with our construction. 4145, just a little bit beyond the ramp from Good Hope Road. The right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. And we are seeing slowdowns in the construction zone. We're looking pretty good, though, in our other construction zone. Looking good over in the Whitefish Bay area.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Beautiful day today. Enjoy it. Mostly sunny and a high of 75. Clear skies tonight, a low of 63. Sun returns on Friday. A little uptick in humidity with a high of 80. Just a slight chance for a morning shower on Saturday. Otherwise, mostly sunny with a high of 78. Cooling off a little bit on Sunday with a high of 71. Monday, slight chance of morning rain. Then mostly sunny and a high of 68. 71 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling about 68 being the high temperature early next week. I'm trying to hang on to 70s. I like seeing the 80 here. I don't know if I'm ready for 68 as a high.
I know. I heard it too. I mean, it sounds very pleasant, but I'm not ready for summer to slip away just yet.
If you listened to yesterday's show, by the way, I did confirm with TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson, though pumpkin spice latte season has started at Dunkin', he is not officially beginning his season until Starbucks rolls out their menu.
Yeah, he's
I know
a Starbucks
people were
guy.
concerned. People were very concerned.
All right, 12:09.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Happening now, FEMA teams are out in Milwaukee County assessing damage caused by our historic flooding earlier this month. The teams are just getting started. They'll interview homeowners, renters, and business owners to document property damage. They really want to get a real feel for the impact of those storms. This is a crucial step in the disaster recovery process. It helps determine the extent of the damage and whether Wisconsin qualifies for a presidential disaster declaration, which would ultimately lead to federal aid. We're going to go live out to the FEMA teams coming up at 12:15. Find out exactly what they're looking for and how often they see damage worthy of a presidential disaster declaration.
Kind of a related story here, but the city of Wauwatosa announces a $1 million donation from the Tosa Foundation to help support the flood recovery efforts at Hart Park. We talked about this last week with the Wauwatosa East athletic director who didn't have a football field all of a sudden. That football field is used for a lot of things beyond football. Well, the gift will be used to assist with repairs and restoration following the flooding. City officials sorting out how to best allocate those funds. That's going to take some time. Portions of the park, though, expected to reopen today. Unsafe areas will be very clearly fenced off. Kind of a slow roll here, but tennis and volleyball courts are going to reopen in the next week or so. The stadium, the softball field, that's closed long term. The pedestrian bridge from the Farmers Market to Hart Park reopening today. And the football season has begun. And Wauwatosa East is actually going to be partnering with Milwaukee Vincent and Wauwatosa West to play home games. They'll be practicing on their own campus at the Wauwatosa East High School, just trying to navigate all these challenges, but quite a significant donation from the Tosa Foundation today.
Yeah, certainly a process, but some good news today. A Wisconsin native is telling a story for the first time since his dramatic rescue in Norway. We told you about Alex Loon earlier this month. The 38-year-old journalist was seriously hurt when he fell during a solo hike on a remote mountain in Norway. Loon couldn't move and had no water, hardly any food as well. Here he recounts day 3.
It started to rain. I really was desperate for water. I remember just literally licking up every drop of water I could get.
Can you imagine? In an interview with Good Morning America, Loon said disaster struck when his boot broke and he started plunging down the icy mountain. He slammed into a rock, broke his left femur, fractured his pelvis, and hurt his spine.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to move and get out of there. And so I thought, okay, well, I got to essentially make it for at least 4 days on this mountain so that people will realize that I'm missing.
He ultimately fought to survive for 6 days before being rescued. The Wisconsin native now lives in the UK and he is still recovering. He has severe frostbite on his feet and his broken bones are healing.
That is an unbelievable story. That is incredible.
And his wife joked, "You are never going solo hiking again." I think he will. A guy like this will go again, but man, what a scary story.
My goodness. 12:12 on WTMJ. Jessica alluded to it, but FEMA's hard at work here in the state of Wisconsin, assessing damage, trying to get things sorted out. Eventually, they will have a report due to President Trump. Cassie Cohn is a spokesperson for FEMA. She'll be on the line with us after this.
Hey, boaters! Inexperienced boaters are more than welcome here, because at Kendor Marine you'll find all the answers to your questions on parts, installation, troubleshooting, and the best part is, when we figure out what you need, we can grab it from our massive inventory of boat parts and supplies that no one around can match. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine, we got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey boaters!
Where else are you going to find weather stripping for a 77 Carver? That's what he said, and I don't know the answer to that one, but he sure was glad he found it here. I'm Dave Doro with Kendor Marine, and when it comes to boat parts and supplies, we have it all. If you're a boater and you need it, we got it. And that's why you got to get here. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's, and Palermo's has been doing it right in the state of Wisconsin for over 60 years. Pretty amazing stuff. What a great story. Drive to the ballpark, you drive right by Canal Street and see the Palermo's factory. Sometimes you can smell the dough that's cooking. Always makes me hungry. Never really a bad time to make it a Palermo's day or night. Wisconsin's hometown pizza can be found wherever you like to shop. So if you're at the store today, Festival Foods, Pick and Save, Sendik's, Piggly Wiggly, Woodman's, check out the frozen food aisle, find yourself the pizza section, grab a Palermo's or 2 or 3, stock up on Screamin' Sicilian, Urban Pie, Connie's. I love the Screamin' Sicilian. There's even a new Ragu frozen pizza. Head on down to the Woodman's in Racine. You can try that one. 2 Ragu pizzas for $8. There you go. Pretty good deal at Woodman's. Great combination. Try the Supreme, try the pepperoni. It's Wisconsin's hometown pizza, Palermo's.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
Well, what a gorgeous day today. High of 75 degrees, brilliant sun, clear skies tonight, a low of 63. Another beautiful day on Friday with a high of 80. Going to feel a little warmer with a little uptick in humidity. Going to be pretty nice throughout the weekend, though we do cool off. By the time we get to Sunday, just a high of 71 degrees. Monday's high, 68. Should be plenty of sun here for the next several days. Just a slight chance of rain in the forecast on the back end of the weekend. 70 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:15.
FEMA is here. The work has begun. Teams with the Federal Emergency Management Agency are now on the ground in Milwaukee County. In fact, they started their work just about 2 hours ago. Cassie Cohn is a spokesperson for FEMA. She joins us live now. She's also in Milwaukee County. She joins us to explain what the teams are doing and why this work is so critical. Thanks for joining us, Cassie.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
So your teams are here in Milwaukee County right now. They just started their work. What's the process? What are they doing right now?
Yeah, so this is one of the first steps in the process to eventually potentially requesting a disaster declaration from FEMA. So the teams have been asked to come out by the state of Wisconsin. We are conducting what is called a joint preliminary damage assessment with our partners at the Small Business Administration. We're also out there with Wisconsin Emergency Management and our local and city officials as well. And we were evaluating the impacts of the severe storms and flash flooding that occurred in Milwaukee, Washington, and Waukesha counties from that August 9th storm.
So what does that mean, though? How do you evaluate the damage?
That's a good question. So we are going door to door, knocking on doors, trying to talk to residents to better understand the impacts of the event on their home. We're asking them questions. How much water was in their home? Have they been, are they unable to live in their home because of the damage that was sustained? What sort of losses did they have in their homes? We just want to get a picture of what that impact was. If residents aren't home, that's okay. This is just a snapshot of the disaster's impact on the communities that we're gathering this week. FEMA does not need to visit every home to understand those impacts. We're lucky that the local officials have really been out on the ground since day one, collecting that information for us. We have a lot of that data already, and now we're going out to verify that information.
You know, Cassie, you kind of led me down the path of my next question. I was going to say these floodings occurred, a week and a half ago, 10, 11 days ago. Does that matter? Or I think you alluded to it. You had people from the get-go on the ground trying to do an assessment?
Exactly. So the local emergency management officials have been out since day one. It's your city and your local emergency management. They're on the ground. They're the ones that do that initial response. And they really have that information from the get-go. And a lot of that funnels up into the state emergency management. And then the reason we're here is that the state emergency management has requested FEMA come out and take a look at that damage. So there's already been extensive work done to understand the impacts of this event. And now we're really coming out to verify that at the federal level. And that's what we're doing today. And we'll be here as long as we're needed with our state and local partners to see what we need to see. And all of that information, once it's collected, will then go back to the state. The state takes that, they do an evaluation, and they determine whether they're going to request that federal disaster declaration from FEMA at that point.
What do you need to see as far as damage in order for there to be a presidential disaster declaration? Is it the amount of the damage, the depth of the damage? How would you describe that?
We are looking at a number of factors. There is no set dollar amount. There's no threshold that needs to be met. Really what our teams look at is, are there recovery resources already available from state and local governments, potentially private sector or nonprofit organizations? Or is there a gap that federal assistance may need to fill? We want to also understand, are there uninsured losses that people have sustained? What is the extent, severity, and magnitude of those losses? Will it take a long time to recover? And what is needed to help that recovery? And are federal resources needed for that recovery? That is really what we're out here trying to understand. So by understanding the amount of water in people's homes, whether they were able to pay for that, those repairs or not, that helps us understand, okay, if there's no other resources available, then potentially federal assistance might be needed.
You know, Cassie, you just did a story about 15 minutes ago about a massive park in Wauwatosa in Milwaukee County that received significant damage. And if you walked through there, you would understand just how significant it was. Is most of your work residential and with businesses in the area, or do you get to the depth and the level of parks and working with local leaders to assess damage kind of all-encompassing?
So we're here at the request of the state to assess individual assistance or damage as it relates to individual assistance, which is primarily individuals and households. That's what we're here doing this week. Our partners at the U.S. Small Business Administration are also joining our team, and they would be looking at potential disaster impacts to businesses. However, there has been a request for public assistance damage assessments. Those are not being done this week. Those are probably going to start sometime in September. But that would look at damage to infrastructure, which could also include parks. So that it's a longer-term process. There's different programs for different requirements and needs. But right now, we're primarily focused on those individual losses. So that's what we're out here doing today.
Cassie, how often do you see damage worthy of a presidential disaster declaration versus damage that's just not enough? And I don't know if you have an exact number, but would it be the majority of the time? How would you define that?
You know, I think the best answer to that question is every disaster is different. You know, when we're brought in, the state has already made an initial determination that they think federal assistance might be needed because they've done those local assessments, they've looked at the numbers, they've looked at those impacts, and they think there might be that need. And that's why we come in the first place to do these assessments and verify that information. We work with our state and local partners to identify all of the resources that might be available, understand those impacts and those needs, and how federal support may be needed. And that's why we're really here in the Milwaukee area now. I mean, we're working as quickly as possible to understand what's going on so the state that can then make that decision. And it is the state's decision after these assessments are done whether to request that federal assistance from FEMA. And we're ready to respond when and if we get that request.
Cassie, how common is work like this for you in a given year? Do you have any historical perspective that, you know, your groups do this 10, 15 times a year, maybe 20? Just kind of historical perspective, if you can offer that.
I've been with FEMA 16 years. I've probably gone out about 50 times. I could not give you a sense of what that looks like on a given year, but our teams are often out in the field supporting these types of requests. And we're ready to do so when we're asked to. That is why we're here. We're here in Milwaukee, and we're ready to get these assessments done as quickly as we can.
Do you happen to know offhand the last time FEMA came to Milwaukee or to Wisconsin as a whole?
There was the last federal disaster declaration that included individual assistance was back in 2018, and that was, I believe, around the Madison area.
Gotcha. Okay, so as far as today, you're in Milwaukee County now. Do you expect your teams to be in Milwaukee County for the next few days? Are they going to move on to other spots? What moving forward is the schedule here?
Yeah, so we have 6 teams in the field. 4 of them are in the Milwaukee County area. We have a team in Washington County and a team in Waukesha County. And we'll really be here as long as needed to see the damage that our state and local partners want us to see. We don't have an end date quite yet, but again, we're working as quickly as we can to see what we need to see. And then once the state believes they have enough information to make that decision whether to request, that's, we'll end those assessments and that decision will be made.
Cassie Cohn with the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Thanks so much for your time and for your team's work as well.
No problem. No problem. Thank you. Take care.
It's pretty amazing work, right? I mean, there's nothing easy about what they're doing. They're canvassing. They're going literally door to door, kind of knocking and, taking an assessment, damage assessment, whether people are home or not. They can do some of the work they need to do. But ultimately, this comprehensive report goes to Washington, D.C., and then ultimately, and hopefully, it's signed off on so these folks can receive the level of comfort they need in trying to repair or rebuild. Not living on a floodplain kind of screws you up for flood insurance, right? If you've not learned that through this process, perhaps you knew that before. It's not like you're living in Florida where flood insurance is common. It's every day, and I'm sure very expensive. So some people this is all they got. Like, this is the only hope they have for rebuilding, repairing, trying to restore normalcy.
It's nice to hear that they are actually doing interviews with homeowners. Not that they don't have to do an interview with every homeowner. It's okay if you're not home, but I like to hear that they are doing those interviews because if you think about this, now we're a couple weeks away from this. So some people have already done the cleanup, right? You don't drive by and see it. In other locations, in other neighborhoods, you still see it. You see it out on the streets, and there's some areas where they're just piling it up. It almost reminds me on a smaller fraction of like the hurricane areas. When you see it's just all that stuff, you got to put it somewhere. It's got to go somewhere until somebody else can take it and put it in the dump. But yeah, it's a lot of work, and FEMA now here on the ground and will be here for a few days.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Paul Davis and Surf Pro trucks driving around, a lot in our subdivision, and the trash cleanup continues as well as they try and get everything out from people's front yards. 12:25 here on WTMJ. A reminder, Brewers baseball later this afternoon. Our coverage begins in about 20 minutes. We'll get you headlines here, local and national, coming up at 12:30.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us about Lion's Tail?
We've been brewing for 10 years, and now we're busy expanding into Milwaukee, trying to get on every shelf of every store and on tap at every restaurant.
How has Horicon Bank been a part of your story?
Horicon Bank understands the needs of small businesses versus working with a big bank. Horicon, they're much like a small business, just like we are. I know most of the people on that team. It's nice working with someone that understands your business.
Siding Unlimited, truly siding and a whole lot more. I've talked about the projects they've done at our house. Well, never more than ever has it been more impactful, the work that Siding Unlimited does, their incredible craftsmanship. They installed brand new LP Smart Side siding at our home about 9 years ago. Not only is it not faded or warped, but everything is still perfect. It looks brand new. And we had no water issues. Siding Unlimited and their subsidiary company, Outdoor Living Unlimited, installed a beautiful paver patio about 8 years ago. And while some of that joint locking sand is sort of eroded with weather, it's pretty easy for me to fill, and I typically do. But I was looking at the craftsmanship the other day when trying to figure out just why our house held up so well. Well, it down to the smallest minute of details, just the slight pitching from the first stones that are located on our patio, pitching away from the house, the grading perfect around the patio, making sure that all that water washes away. This is why you need a great installation team for whatever your home project is. Windows, doors, roofing, siding, patio, decking projects. Siding Unlimited understands this. They know how to do the job properly. The best installers of fine quality materials that you will find. I believe in them. Wonderful people. Siding Unlimited. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, but with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. There's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Thursday, August 21st. Your top stories: settling a discrimination charge against Quick Trip.
I'm Jessica Tighe, resigning after asking about an arrest warrant.
Mostly sunny today. Beautiful high of 75 degrees. It's currently 70 in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The University of Tennessee, Chattanooga on lockdown this hour. The Chattanooga Police Department, in a social media post, says officers are working with campus police to confirm reports of shots fired. Authorities say at this time they have not located any victims. Classes on the campus resumed this week. President Trump declaring total victory, he says, after an appeals court threw out the New York civil fraud judgment of nearly $500 million against his family business. ABC's Aaron Katersky says the New York Attorney General says it will appeal.
They said the penalty that Engoron imposed for all of this fraud of $464 million violated the Eighth Amendment. It was excessive, and so they've thrown out the monetary judgment and it may be left to New York's highest court to determine what the ultimate penalty, if any, should be.
President Trump says he'll be out with police and military in Washington, D.C. tonight, weeks after he announced a federal takeover of D.C.'s police force. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. Well, one of Wisconsin's largest gas station chains settles with a former employee to resolve a discrimination charge.
As part of the settlement with Quick Trip, the employee will receive $35,000 in back pay. According to the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the worker requested to modify her schedule to align with her medical restrictions. The commission says Quick Trip misinterpreted that request, reducing the employee's full-time work schedule to 9 hours a week, forcing her to resign. It's not known which Quick Trip location the employee worked at. The company has not publicly commented on the settlement. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A man is in custody after holding a mother and child hostage in Fond du Lac. Police responded Wednesday to an apartment on Martin and Pioneer. They say a man was holding a 29-year-old woman and her 8-month-old hostage with a box cutter. The victims were safely released and taken to a secure location. The apartment complex was briefly placed on a shelter-in-place order. Police arrested the 32-year-old. They say it was a case of domestic abuse.
A Walworth County court commissioner says he was forced out of his position after he asked to see an immigration arrest warrant. A sheriff's deputy was trying to take a man into custody at the court. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports Peter Navis claims he resigned after he was told he could voluntarily leave or be fired over the July 15th incident in his courtroom. The county is accepting applications for a new court commissioner and hopes to have a new person hired by early fall.
It's down to the final days for enrollment for Milwaukee Public Schools. Parents waited in line at Wick Playfield on Valete Street to register their kids. Tighe Cox tells WTMJ she's hoping to find a program for her daughter.
I was actually looking for something with a smaller setting, not such a big class ratio. Something smaller because she is going into K4, so just a smaller, safer environment.
Cox says she hopes by the time her daughter is ready for high school, she'll attend a science program with an MPS.
Celebrating a new place for Milwaukee dog owners to take their dogs downtown. The new dog park opening near Clyburn and Plankington on Wednesday. Executive Director of the Milwaukee 3rd Ward Business Improvement District, Paul Schwartz, tells WTMJ he's convinced the new dog park is the beginning of development in that part of the city.
This is going to be one of the key social hubs of the greater downtown area for sure in the years to come. I'm beyond excited about what to see in terms of when that development comes up, and I'm so excited by just the overall use so far. So it's incredible, beyond expectations.
The 23,000 square foot off-leash park is partially covered by I-794 and also features a public river walk.
2 paws up for that. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Hey, there's free pizza today at the Mine Chef Family Restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. No coupons, no gimmicks. You put your seats in the seats and you get the deal. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 10, get 10 free. You get the idea. You want 50 pizzas? You will get 50 more free pizzas. Business owners, managers, bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and clients. They'll really appreciate you. Call now. Pick up shortly. Your second pizza is free all day long. Coaches, bring in that team. Maybe football, soccer, cross country. Beef up on the free Mine Chef pizza. Your players will love that huge game room because all day long it's big food, big fun, super affordable team bonding. Bring in your family for free pizza today with plenty to take home for tomorrow. I love the pepperoni. No cook-up, no cleaning. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh right near EAA. Walk in today for your free Thursday pizza. Business owner managers, get on it. It's the Mine Shaft.
It's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $200 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 timber tech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Quinn Priester goes to the mound for the Brewers this afternoon in the final game of a 5-game series with the Cubs. Brewers looking to get out of there with 2 wins in 5 opportunities. Their team returns home following today's game. Coverage gets underway at 12:45 on WTMJ. Joint practice for the Packers and Seattle Seahawks wrapping up in Green Bay. The teams will wrap up the preseason Saturday afternoon, a 3 p.m. kickoff from Lambeau Field.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your TMJ time saver traffic. We do have a car fire that just popped up here. 4194 north at the ramp from Ryan Road. The right lane is blocked due to a fire. I see emergency responders at the scene, and I definitely am seeing a backup beginning. So heads up there if you're headed that way. 4194 north at the ramp from Ryan Road. The right lane is blocked due to a car fire. We do have emergency responders at the scene. Handful of disabled vehicles out in the system, most of them not causing any problems. We do also have this new incident, I-43 south at the ramp from A Street. That's like the Keefe area. Expect lane closures due to debris. There's something out on the roads. They've got to get crews to clean it up. That's I-43 south at the ramp from A Street.
75 degrees, brilliant sun, gorgeous day today. Overnight low of 63 under clear skies. Touch of humidity on Friday, mostly sunny and a high of 80. Slight chance for a shower on Saturday morning, then mostly sunny, breezy and a high of 78. 70 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:38.
No matter what we were doing, the Brewer game was always on. Kind of the background of my childhood. I wore number 17.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that was my number.
Yep. This is my friend Jim Gantner. Jim was always my favorite player. We did Jim's roof up in Eden.
Right. The great job he does on homes. Most important is honesty, integrity, and doing a great job.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Such wonderful people over at Geis. If you got an issue with your garage door or opener, you make a simple call. Geis gets you back in the game with brands like CHI and LiftMaster, doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs. Whatever your exact needs, you can rely on Geis for swift and reliable garage repair solutions. Visit GeisDoors.com. They got a great showroom in Brookfield. It's right off Barker Road. Stop in. See what I'm talking about here. Incredible inventory. Could likely mean a quick turnaround time for your project. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit GeisDoors.com.
If you have not experienced the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, please do so this week. Friday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is one of the best, especially with an old-fashioned. This Saturday only, enjoy a chicken chipotle Alfredo pasta dinner with your choice of soup or salad and homemade bread with honey cinnamon butter for just $46.99. And that's for 2 dinners. Unwind with a cocktail in one of the 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds is just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine. The summer drive is just beautiful. This Saturday only, enjoy 2 chicken Alfredo pasta dinners for under $47. Dinner starts at 3 p.m. Arrive early. Desserts are buy one, get one free. The strawberry sham tort is amazing. All other dinners are buy one, get one free every night. Call and reserve today. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
All right, so 7:05 this morning. My goodness. This is how my day started. I felt so bad, and I still feel terrible about it. I let the dog out, right? And our greyhound, if you know anything about greyhounds, you can't just let him out the front door to go potty and come back in. If they see a bunny, they're going to get the bunny. And he's very fast. So everything's got to be on a leash unless you're in a fenced-in area. So I let Night out, and I noticed there was a zillion mosquitoes flying around our front door. Well, what the heck is going on here? So,
Don't get those in the house.
Hustle out, right? So we hustle out, he does his business, and we come back in. And again, I want to get him in the door quickly. So we've got our main front entry door, and then we've got, a storm door that's got like a roll screen or whatever, but it's the door before the door. And I opened said door, and again, swirling mosquitoes in the morning, and I let him go in. He's a big dog, right? He's 75, 80 pounds. He's very tall. He's long. There's a lot of him to get in the door.
Your typical greyhound.
So I'm kind of behind him off his left hind quarter, and I'm trying to hold the door, let him go in, and I'm trying to make it a quick process. And in the process of going in, he suddenly kind of stops, and the storm door, it grabs his tail, and he goes, he yelps, and then he scoots inside. I was like, oh, gosh, Night. And my wife
when you
asks,
hear a dog yelp, it's it's different. It's so rare. It's like, oh, my gosh, what happened?
It is. So he's in pain. I don't know the severity of it. And my wife said, what happened? And I explained. I ran to the kitchen to grab something. Meanwhile, I come back, and it's like he's bleeding.
Oh, no.
And he had a gash on both sides of his tail down to the bone. So emergency vet call.
Yeah.
Long story short, they've amputated like 5 inches of his tail off this morning.
Poor
All
thing.
because I'm worried about mosquitoes getting in our house. I felt so terrible.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, yeah, you feel bad for a little bit, of course, but, you're a good pet owner. The family will take good care of him, and he'll be, before you know it, he'll just be looking for his treat.
Well, what I've learned...
I get extra treats, right?
Yeah. So initially, my wife is kind of holding on to him. He's sort of panting. I'm doing like a little wrap thing around his leg so he doesn't lick it or irritate it anymore.
Sure.
On his tail. So we get that all taken care of. My daughter, Kendall, who is 8, does not like to see anybody in pain. She doesn't even like to swat at mosquitoes or flies. So is Night going to be okay? And like he's going to be fine, honey. And she's crying and crying. And she said, is it like when I slammed my car or my finger in the car door the other day? I was like, well, kind of. Yeah, like it really hurts, but you're going to be okay.
Thought. Yeah.
So Knight, thankfully, was okay. He had a little bit to eat, and then he trotted outside and into the back of my wife's SUV, and they went off to the emergency vet. He had the surgery. He is recovering, and he's going to be home. And it's a very common surgery. It happens. Like dogs have their tails shortened for a variety of reasons. This happens to be because of a just kind of a foolish accident on my part. I felt so bad for him, but he's going to be okay. Order will be restored, and his tail will be just a little bit short. He's got a very long tail to begin with.
Looking on the bright side, maybe he runs even faster now.
Well, I just hope he looks me in the face and forgives me. That's all I'm hoping for at this point. So looking forward to seeing my buddy when I get back home. 12:43 on WTMJ. We've got Brewers baseball coming up here. Final game of this massive 5-game series with the Cubs. Got to get one here as the Brewers look to snap a 3-game losing streak. Back again tomorrow.
We Energies want you to keep this important safety message in mind. Before you start